Hey mi gente, it's Julian Steve. You already know my name, but if you're new here, hey! Today we're going to be talking about the one and only Bad Bunny. Well, we're going to be talking about him and specifically why I do not like Bad Bunny. Yes. Okay, mi gente. Okay, mi gente. Okay. We're going to start now.
Aquí pasamos moña por el TSA. Las putas se montan fácil como en GTA.
Benito Antonio Martinez was born on March 10th, 1994 in Puerto Rico, Vega Baja. Benito was raised in the middle-class Almoradí Sur neighborhood. His father, Tito Martinez, was a truck driver, and his mother, Nisarari Ocasio, is a retired school teacher. He has two younger brothers, Bernie and Bisael. As a child, he attended church weekly with his extremely Catholic mother and sang in the church choir until age 13. After leaving the choir, he developed an interest in the artists he heard on the radio. When Benito hit the age 14, he started to write and create his own music. Then he released his music through SoundCloud, where DJ Nuhan discovered him. DJ Nuhan signed him to his label Hear This Music in 2016. I am not sure if Bad Bunny is still signed to Hear This Music, as I see Remix Entertainment, but who knows. Bad Bunny has one collaboration album, one compilation album, and 5 studio albums. He has 2 MTV Video Music Awards, 3 Grammys, 6 American Music Awards, 9 Latin Grammy Awards, and 22 Guillermo's Juventud, to name a few.
Te doy todo lo mío, está mi respirar. Contigo veo todo como en espiral. Quiero tirarnos fotos y que se hagan mirar.
Similarly to the Karol G video, I'm going to name the stuff I have issues with from Bad Bunny. I'm not going to talk too much about things that has to, I guess, be on a positive note to some degrees. Of course, if it intertwines with what I'm talking about, I may mention it here and there in this video, but this is going to be my honest opinions while also being research driven. If you want to learn more, or if you do not believe me, the sources are in the description. Which, by the way, check out the Karol G video after this video. Now, let us begin. Problem number 1. Bad Bunny has a hard time to acknowledge discrimination in reggaeton. If you're new to the channel, or if you've been here before, you already know that there is a lack of diversity when it comes to reggaeton representation, specifically for Black people who created reggaeton music. And when I say Black people, I'm referring to Afro-Latino artists. Which, by the way, I made a video discussing why there is a lack of diversity in reggaeton and the origins of reggaeton. If you want to watch that video, I'm going to put it in the description too. And as you can see, this is going to be a video where I'm going to be recommending additional videos. Just because I don't want to repeat or talk too much about certain topics in case you're not familiar with them. So, yeah, watch these videos after this video. In a GQ article, Bad Bunny was praising Tego Calderon, and he is a reggaeton legend. Some people, myself included, had issues with his response. The only thing they allowed me to listen to was Biko C. He says, referring to the stage name of Luis Alvarado Losada Cruz, the rapper widely regarded as one of the founders of reggaeton. At that time, Vico C was street, but they allowed me to listen to him when he started to make cleaner music. But the first OG street artist they let me listen to was Tego Calderon. And that was the first one I was really hooked on. Oh, that's so nice of Bad Bunny to acknowledge Tego. However, in this article, there's more of what he said, and that is where I and a bunch of people have an issue with. When Benito is asked whether he believes race and colorism play a role in the success of a reggaeton artist, he responds, because I haven't seen it or lived it, I can't say. It'd be irresponsible of me to say yes. They asked me about if 2000s reggaeton superstar Tego Calderon would have been bigger if he wasn't black. But in my eyes, Tego Calderon is the biggest singer in the industry. Oh. My issue with this response is that Bad Bunny is not dumb. He's obviously not dumb. I know he knows that there is a lack of black people in reggaeton music, and the fact that Tego Calderon is not as big as numerous artists as of today is ridiculous, especially in Latin America. He's not even big in Latin America. He's definitely not big. Actually, no, maybe take that back. Tego is big in Latin America, but is he as big as these artists around his timing that became more popular based on their looks and the fact that they are mestiza, or white, of course. We all know white as well. But what I'm saying is, you would never see someone who looks like Tego Calderon as the representation of reggaeton. That's why so many people be thinking reggaeton originated by non-black Latinos exclusively, and that is not true. Reggaeton mainly was known from black people who happen to be poor black people. If you were a poor black person, you will most likely participate in reggaeton music. That's why there was a time where people would scrutinize reggaeton because it was for poor people participating in it. And then of course, numerous middle class and even rich reggaeton artists start to participate in it. And as you can see, these non-black Latinos, they do not put on the artists who they get inspired by. And when I say inspired by, I'm specifically talking about like their demographic, race-wise. And it's like they do, I'm not gonna say all of them, but I do know that some, if not most of these reggaeton artists know deep down that they are taking advantage of the fact that they look the way they look and they're not putting on other reggaeton artists who are marginalized and they happen to be black. And it's like, come on, you can do more, and you're playing a role of the erasure of Afro-Latinos participating in reggaeton. Of course, people are going to counterclaim and be like, what are you talking about? There are Afro-Latino artists who are bigger than Tego Calderon as of now. Well, I'm going to have to debunk that a bit, because while that is true, the only two artists who are mainstream in Latin America and in the United States are Osuna and Selj. Or Selk, however you pronounce his name, his stage name. Some people are gonna be like, okay, 2 people. Yeah, out of like a bunch of non-black Latinos, that's very, very small, very small. There are no mainstream Afro-Latina artists. So this topic really bothered me because this was an opportunity for Bad Bunny to speak up for marginalized people within his genre of music. But instead, he chose to pretend that it's not his place to speak on it. And some people may say he has a point because he's not a black Latino. However, I feel like when you are part of a genre that is not known from your culture, specifically your racial culture, I feel like you have to step up and admit when something is not really known in your culture. Problem number 2. Bad Bunny's aesthetic has been interesting. Yes, we're gonna go there. As you all know, I've critiqued Karol G for her fashion choices, and that is what I'm going to do with Bad Bunny. I do think some of his outfit choices are interesting, while others are very questionable. And no, I'm not talking about him wearing a dress or dressing in drag, whatever, who cares, that's his business. My issue is him trying to look more Afrocentric. And I'm not saying I am saying as in the style, but when Bad Bunny does it, he does it more in a way to look racially ambiguous, because there were people who thought that this man was Afro-Latino. In what planet? Then
Parte número 2, my 2 cents. Is Bad Bunny appropriating black culture when he wears those braids with the beads? Yes, for several reasons. When we talk about cultural appropriation, we talk about someone taking a style from another culture, not giving its due credit, and also, more importantly, benefiting or profiting from said culture. Bad Bunny is wearing those braids because it gives him some type of social currency. Because black culture is profitable. It gives him an edge, a look. The look is profitable. He profits off of having a more urban look. So he is definitely appropriating black American culture, on top of the fact that those type of braids are not specific to Puerto Rican culture. Do we wear braids? Yes, we wear braids. Do we wear head wraps? Yes, we wear head wraps. Are there certain protective styles that we have in Puerto Rico because we are African diasporic? Yes, there are, but it's not those braids. He is culturally appropriating. Second, is Bad Bunny a white man? Bad Bunny is not a white man. You can look at Bad Bunny and very clearly see that he is mixed race. So that TikToker who is saying that he is white, he is not white. And let's stop calling people white who very clearly are mixed race. You can see his hair texture. You can see certain features that he has, that he is very clearly mixed race. Very fair skin, definitely still benefiting from fair skin and privilege because of his fair skin. But also, he is technically a person of color. He is a Puerto Rican who does not necessarily pass or present as fully white. You can't put Bad Bunny with his curly, coily ass hair in the middle of the Midwest and nobody out there thinking that he ain't got some black in him. Let's keep it all the way a buck. But also, I understand why people would be outraged. When have you ever heard Bad Bunny protect the black community? When have you ever heard Bad Bunny speak about Black Lives Matter or any of the issues or any black issues that were even happening in Puerto Rico?
If you see his family, nobody's black. Nobody is black. But there were people who thought he was. That's because of the way he presents himself sometimes, the way he makes his music. That's why people think that. I'm going to be honest, and no offense if you thought Bad Bunny was half black, but Bad Bunny, in my humble opinion, he does not look half black. And that's okay because that's not what he is. There are some Latinos who go an extra mile when it comes to their outfit choices, especially when they're inspired by Black people, Black styles that are known within Black communities. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I feel like, especially in this case for Bad Bunny was raised in a middle class home. So I feel like it's not true to what he is, and it's giving fake. I'm going to be honest, it's giving fake when he does it. And that's why I always had an iffy vibe whenever I saw him dressing in the same way. I'm not saying you cannot have your own sense of style, you cannot be inspired by different people from different races. My issue is when you go from here to all the way here. And that's my issue with Bad Bunny and people like him within the Latino community. But I do want to say one thing before we move on to the next section. I feel like if you lived in a certain community where this type of style is normalized, I wouldn't care that much. But if you did not, yes, I'm talking about you, Bad Bunny, I'm going to give you a side eye, especially when you go from here to here. If it's like it's not that serious, it's like you just doing the style because you really like it, and you're not going over the top with it, I would be like, okay, that's cool. That's not bad. Problem number 3, Bad Bunny being a jerk. Sometime back in January 2023, Bad Bunny was called out for throwing a fan's phone in the bushes just because she was invading his space, apparently, even though, in my opinion, she wasn't entirely invading his space in a rude way. Of course, some people may debate that, but she didn't touch him sexually. She didn't hit him. She didn't directly, touch him like in a weird way. She just leaned up on him while she was trying to film a video, and then that's when he threw her phone into the bushes.
Wow, en serio.
Long story short, Bad Bunny, till this day, thinks he was in the right for throwing this fan's phone in the bushes. Then he even mentioned it in a song called Nadie Sabe.
Esa gente le toca mamar, tú no eres mi fan real, por eso te tiré el celular. A los reales por siempre los voy a amar.
In Nadie Sabe, Bad Bunny basically said that this woman was not a fan of his for invading his space. Exactly. Keep in mind, this album came out October 2023. If I'm wrong, I'm going to correct myself here. Wow. Wow. Because this happened a while ago, and he's going to bring it up again. And I get it the first few times when it happened, him bringing it up and defending himself. That song came out when the album dropped. So, Bad Bunny, really? I'm telling you, if I was him, I would not hear his music no more. Because, that is just ridiculous. The fact that he's keep doubling down on what he did, and this footage too, I'm like, come on, cut the shit. Problem number 4. Bad Bunny messing with Kendall Jenner. If you did not know, Bad Bunny was in a public relationship with Kendall Jenner. Kendall Jenner is a part of the Kardashian and Jenner empire. Long story short, this family, for the most part, is not good. They have a track record where they have done numerous things that were negative, especially towards Black people. And that's why there are people, myself included, who do not like the Kardashians, the Jenners. and then the majority of them have mixed race kids, and I'm afraid of how they're going to come out growing up with these people, and then the black men that they chose to have children with these people, they questionable too. And then of course Rob has a mixed race daughter with Black China. Rob, that I know of, has not done anything weird, but if he has, that's related to being racist or whatever, I take back what I just said right now. But my point is, the majority of the family is not good, like every other family. However, these are rich people, and their issues have been put on the global screen where we all can see them. Look online if you do not believe me about the controversies that Kendall Jenner has been a part of too.
Everybody in the Latino community is up in arms about this, except me. Because those two are cut from the same cloth, and I clocked Bad Bunny as a culture vulture back when he did the Super Bowl. And in case y'all need a reminder, here it is. And I think my personal favorite is this one, because what is this? I could maybe overlook those things if he at some point in his career had used his platform as an opportunity to uplift Afro-Latinos, or at the very least educate people about the fact that this is the man who started reggaeton and that it was a black genre to begin with, and it is now very whitewashed. And maybe he has. If you guys are fans of Bad Bunny, somebody can please let me know and I'll be happy to at least rectify that part. But I did read the Time magazine article, and when asked about colorism in the industry, he basically took the approach of, I haven't experienced it, so I can't speak on it. Which is mighty funny because he's advocated for so many other things in communities. And I think the unique context that I have is that I am Afro-Latina. My grandparents immigrated from Central America to the US, and I was born and raised in the US. And so I also identify as a Black American. My dad is Black American. And to be honest, I wasn't going to comment on this situation, but I keep seeing people say that this is a PR relationship between him and Kendall Jenner. And maybe it is for her, but if you watch the footage, it looks like he's actually into her. And regardless of if that's true or not, by pretending that this is just a PR stunt to be blown off and forgotten about, it is removing his accountability for the fact that he is actively, as one of the largest artists on the planet, involved with someone who has caused harm to communities of color, not just to the Black community, but to the Latino community as well with her tequila brand. And like people have been saying about Taylor Swift, you are who you date. And if he can overlook those things, it says a lot about his character. And I would love for all of us to continue to examine that and hopefully at some point hold him accountable.
Also, Kendall has a weird dating pattern, but that's another discussion for another day. Back to Bad Bunny, I was very surprised when I found out that they were dating each other, because if you see Kendall's dating pattern, you would notice that she has a specific type of man she would date, specifically race-wise. And that's why I was like, oh, okay. She's dating a mestizo Latino. Yay to the Latinos. Yay, the non-black Latinos. Yay, That's what I was thinking when I heard about this, because I was shocked. Then I saw that people were critiquing their relationship, specifically Latinos, because of Kendall's family's past, plus Kendall's past as well. And that's when I realized, I was like, oh, okay. But me personally, I didn't have that much of an issue with the relationship. But then when you think about the whole thing, it makes Bad Bunny look bad. Also, Bad Bunny is known for caring about authenticity. And then for him to be messing with Kendall Jenner, it makes him a hypocrite, to be honest. And it shows that he doesn't practice what he preach, because wouldn't he want to be with someone who matches up to his beliefs and their family members too? And I'm not saying obviously the whole family is going to agree with certain things, because come on, we all know families do not agree with everything that an individual does. We all know this. However, when the toxicity is this big with the majority of the family members or continuously to do certain things, yeah, we have a problem with that. In this family, they got these issues. And I do want to read a quote from Times Magazine about Bad Bunny and how he likes authenticity when it comes to being Latino. Benito has often sung about his love for Latin women and culture, even dismissing the non-Latinos who want to participate in reggaeton culture or take advantage of Puerto Rican land as lacking sazon flavor. It ain't Benito no more, it's Ben, went a common refrain on social media. Due to Benito, aka Bad Bunny, being in a relationship with Kendall Jenner, people were upset, like I've mentioned earlier. And they didn't take him seriously because he always admired Latinas. And people would have expected him to be with this woman, out of all women. That's why I was like, yeah, Bad Bunny is full of shit. I'm not gonna say all the time because yes, Bad Bunny has done amazing things for Latinos and globally to some extent. However, he's not perfect. I'm not perfect. But I can't compare myself to a celebrity. So that's going to be hard to be trying to compare and contrast in that area because I know we do not like to put people on a pedestal. However, there are people who do put these type of celebrities on a pedestal and have a hard time to give constructive criticism. Concluding statement, after hearing Bad Bunny's 2 previous albums, I do have to admit that Bad Bunny is talented. Where I hear his music, I'm not exactly sure because I do not feel comfortable supporting his music in my humble opinion. And if you watch the reggaeton video, the Karol G video, you'll probably understand why. However, I do think that he has contributed to a lot of good things within Latin American culture, besides in Latin America and in the United States, but globally. However, I do think he could do more when it comes to representation of reggaeton, specifically Black representation of reggaeton, who he associates with, whether being friends with or dating, his style choices, and the type of music he makes too, because I heard I just told you guys, I heard his 2 previous albums. While they were good, there were certain songs where I heard drill, hip hop, rap type of influences, and that's not bad, but the way he did it in certain songs and his features, it came off a bit false, but that's another discussion for another day. My point is that it's okay to critique people who you're a fan of or a super fan of. It's okay to hear from people like myself who do not agree with certain things your favorite artist has done. And as a community, specifically the Latino community, we need to acknowledge when something is wrong and not pretend that it's not wrong just because you relate to Bad Bunny race-wise, or you relate to Bad Bunny because he's Puerto Rican, or you relate to Bad Bunny because he speaks Spanish, or you relate to Bad Bunny because you think he, I don't know, is gonna pay your rent. So that's all I'm saying. Just hear people like me critiquing him in a constructive way and expect him to reevaluate for the better. Thank you so much if you made it this far in this video. I appreciate you. Be sure to like this video, comment, share, and subscribe. I really would appreciate if you shared the video specifically because YouTube is, I think you all can see, YouTube is playing with me. Okay, mi gente, okay, mi gente, okay. Thank you and peace, mi gente.